Hey y'all, this is Cindy. I'm the Tireless Tangler. I want to welcome everyone back to the 100 Days of Zentangle Project 2021. Thank you guys so much for being with me today. Our tangles today are going to be two. They are going to be XO and JAVIK. XO is by Taiwanese CZT Damy, as y'all probably know her, or Mei Hua Teng. And JAVIK is by Belgian CZT Ria Matheussen, who occasionally comes by and gives me a word of encouragement. We love Ria. So yeah, this is what we're going to do today. I felt like we needed a twofer. All right, let's get started. So before we get started today, let's take a minute and breathe, okay? Oh, wow. Wearing my shoulders on my ears again today. Couple more. Whew. Come on, guys, relax. Bloody breathe. All right. Okay. So in traditional Zentangle fashion, I found an old F pencil. Yay me. Okay. In traditional Zentangle fashion, we are going to put some dots and borders in. One dot in each corner. I think the camera angle is going to be good today, but I think my angle is not going to be so good. What have I got on this tile? Okay, so I'm going to make fun borders, but not too fun today. So maybe just a little fun. Are you going to come say hi, Simba? Come on, get up here. There. So a little bit fun, but not too much, okay? Hopefully you guys can see this. I didn't draw them dark again. I'm also really trying today to use my indirect light that I've got from outside, my natural light. And so let me know in comments if this works for you or not. All right, hopefully that's clear enough. Simba, come on, up. Good boy. Good boy. All right, Simba's in the house. We can now continue. So today I think I want to divide my tile once. So in half in some way. And you can do this in whatever way you want. I think I'm going to do mine on the diagonal, but you could do it straight up and down if that's what you want to do. And I think I'm going to make this line kind of curve a bit too. Okay, hopefully that is clear. I'm hoping that without the lamp being on real bright in front of us, then that's going to help our visibility a bit. Okay, so this is what I'm going to use today. So as in these examples, hang on, JAVIK is organic, and this is a grid pattern, and XO is a grid pattern, okay? And what I'm going to do is put my organic pattern right here along this line, and I'm going to do that on this side, I think, where I've got less room. And then I'm going to fill this part with the grid tangle. Okay. So grid tangle and the organic pattern JAVIK along this line, right? And as we did earlier in this project with, it was Sarah Harrison's grid pattern, Hugs, and we put the little bit of flux on there before we drew in the grid pattern. I'm going to do something similar to that this time, okay? So first, let me step out JAVIK for you, since that's where I want to start. There is something on my tile here. Well, we'll have to draw over it, won't we? Okay, so JAVIK, it starts with a little curly Q stem. So something like this. and put a little curve in there. However you want to do it is cool. Then we're going to start over here on the side where it comes over the top, okay? And we're going to draw in a leaf shape, okay? And for those who are not comfortable with that, this is how I do them. I do a slight C shape, and then coming down, I make a little dip and then come out like this, okay? Something similar, whatever leaf shape works for you, okay? Then we're going to draw in 3 more leaves or petals, whatever you want to call them. And what I'm going to do is start up here like this, and then bring the C shape down like that. Okay? And then I'm going to repeat that. Twice more until I have this type of a situation. And each one of these leaf or petal shapes is going to look like it's overlapped by the one that you have drawn first. And this is why we start over here. If you started over here, then you'd be overlapping them in the opposite direction. Does that make sense? Okay. So now I'm going to draw in another one coming up from this top part here. All right. Oh, let me finish this one first. The last part of this is to put these tiny little decorative dots along the edges. This is a very pretty little accent here. Take your time on this. This is not a race. The slower that you are with your dots, the cleaner they will be, and you won't get those little jagged little extra marks. And with these microns, all you do is touch down and lift off. The top is flat. The top of your pen is flat, not pointed. So tapping them down in that way is going to work well. And so this is JAVIK. Isn't that pretty? And so now we are going to put another one in, and you can point your little spiral either way. You can make this happen however you would like. I think I got my mojo messed up here. There. Just touch down gently, and that's all you need. This is a lovely little accent pattern. I can see using this in dingbats. I can see, what else could we do with this? Now, we can add more offshoots if that's what I want. I actually don't like the way this ended up. I'm going to bring this down here. I don't think anybody will notice. And I'm going to continue on. Apparently, I'm doing this backwards today. I just can't quite decide which way I'm doing what, can I? That's going to be all right. It's going to end up okay. Right? Don't all have to be the same. Just gently tap down your dots. Down and up. Try not to flick off. I explain these things because I was a very messy pen user. Not that I'm not still, but, and I learned a lot about pens especially these microns. A lot of that came from N.E. Oken, but a lot of that was my own experience over the years. And so, you know, you can really maximize your time. Oh, Cindy. That first one just needs somewhere in its being to be different than the rest, doesn't it? This makes me smile. So I made this little picture out of dots, basically, a tipple picture. And it was stunning, the results that I got with it, just by taking my time. But I learned when I did that project that I needed to learn to control my pen better, because when you get those little sort of side swipes on things, then I am determined to do this the same way. Everyone, come on. I think it has to do with which stroke I make first. Well, instead... I am laughing. This is funny. I got a big one over here. So this is an illustration, guys. It doesn't have to be perfect. So I thought yesterday was very cool. With the mandala, I don't know how to say that. And I'd be curious to know what you guys thought. That was a huge thing to bite off for the 100 days thing. But you know what? Sometimes I just want to do fun stuff. So this is where, this is pretty much what I've got over here. Now, I'm going to draw my grid pattern behind these leaves over here, okay? And what I'm thinking about now is whether I want to add something over here or not. And the answer is I don't know. I'm also considering whether or not I should draw an aura on this side to separate these elements. And I think that might be a good plan. And for now, I'm going to put this aura, start this aura right here. And I'm going to try to be as careful with it as I can, because the more careful I am, the neater the drawing will be. And I'm just going to go and explore all of these little nooks and crannies, these little spaces. Slow down, Cindy. I'm already getting sloppy. So I need to slow down. Oh, I just made that look like Muka. Cool. Maybe I'll turn this way. And as we saw yesterday, auras are extremely, extremely powerful things. All right, Simba, who's here? So it adds. So now I'm going to leave the rest of this aura as it is, because I still haven't decided if I want to add more over here. You know, it's me. I may very well want to do that. But for now, I want to leave this aura incomplete, because I may want to go around the entire thing. Okay, so let's draw in now XO. All right, this is a grid-based tangle, and it's based on a square grid. Here's our example. And it's so simple, you are going to love it. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to, I think I'll start with my center line right here and move out from there. Simba, chill out, buddy. I'm going to be drawing lines. Don't help me. Please don't help me. Simba, chill. Are we good? Okay. Now I need to decide how big do I want my squares to be? Do I want this grid pattern to be smaller and more ink, or bigger and more op art? Let's compromise, and so do sort of in the middle. Something like this. And then it would be okay. I'm trying to be careful because I don't want to make a mess. All right, so I've sort of got this angled weird, but that's going to be okay. And I don't want to forget this continuation here. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to start in the middle with a line going the other direction, if I can figure out how to do that. Hopefully it's not skewed. And I think let's make this as square as possible. So okay, that's actually not bad for me. And then I think I want to turn this so I can see where I'm going here. And so this would be, let's do this one instead. We'll have a better idea. Okay. Something like that. And all right. Now let's step this out in this middle box right here where we have all four corners. Okay, this is very easy. It's made with, like we said, X's and O's, right? And what we're going to do is we are going to sort of splay these lines out so that they start on the side of one corner and sort of bow in just a little bit, just slightly, like this. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So on the other side of the point, and then bow it out slightly towards the edge, okay? Now we're going to turn this, and we're going to do the same thing going back the other direction, and we're not going to worry about drawing behind here. We're just going to go right over it, okay? Like that. And this, okay? Now, the last thing that you do is you find a spot for your highlight, and the best spot I have found is to put it right here and leave it as big as possible, because as you work, it tends to get smaller. But, you know, it's not a big deal. Then you're going to draw a circle or an orb. All the way around like this. We're going to ink that in, which is why we didn't bother with the drawing behind over here. Just take your time and breathe, guys. Let's say hi to Marty. little, I think. I think that's right. Mari says hi to Marty as well. All right, so there we go. Okay. Now, we're going to continue this in each of these other squares. And the only thing, like we've been working on, that we're going to want to pay attention to is what's in the adjacent square. Okay, so when I start my division this way, I'm going to want to end right here where this one ends. Okay, let's see. So yeah, now this one, you know, that's on us. We got to figure that out ourselves. And we're going to turn it, and when we do that, we're going to want to start here. Okay. Ooh. That one's going to be a little bit skinny, and that's okay. All right. So then we and ink. And this is it. I needed something really simple. I did not realize what I was doing yesterday when I started that. The problem with big projects like that isn't that I mind doing them. It's that I can't do them. I can't do them in one day. It's too much. And I really wanted to finish that with you guys. Well, good job, Cindy. Well, that's what that jelly roll is for, guys. And in fact, I think Linda Farmer suggests that in her article, that if you lose your highlight in there, or for some reason don't have a good spot for it, you just dot your jelly roll in there on top, and you're good to go. Okay. They don't have to be perfect, and when we add the shading, this is going to pop right up. Okay, so let's continue. Go to the next square, wherever you want to start. Aim for the next square. Start where the ones in the other section stop. You are going to be good to go. You don't want that curve in the middle to be too much, but you don't want to leave it out either. It will lose its cool effect. And so here, right, we know where each of these is going to start. Yeah. And now we know exactly where it's going to start and end. Isn't that nice? Oh, I'm drawing behind anyway, aren't I? Yeah, it's okay. I'm just so used to that. All right, now let's go down here and do these. All right, let's do this. All right, Simba, chill out, bud. And we're not going to see the rest of that one. I love this. I love how this looks. And all right, let's do this one. We're not going to be able to see hardly any of this, but we're going to pretend it's all there. And by the way, this is why we drew this aura. Just a little bit of white space in there is going to help us a lot. Okay, let's draw this down. like that. Take your time and sort of figure out where everything goes. And let's see, we got that down, so we need to do, but I don't want to be on that side, so we're just going to do that like that. And I think that's all we're going to be able to see on that one, including the little ball. All right. And now over here, we're going to go back down like that. Probably not that sharp. And we're just going to sort of pretend that we know where we're going in here. Apparently River has something to say. Not that that's anything new. She is a barky little thing. Mari seems to be feeling better today. Still sniffly and miserable, and his throat is sore. All right, now go and put the circle. I'm going to need the jelly roll in several places here. And these balls don't have to be perfect, but the closer you can get them to the center. Well, that ended up getting a little bit crazy, but that's okay. All right, so let me start this. Now you might have noticed, by the way, on this, I did one of these differently. There is a tangle called Chemistry, and they handle it's very similar to this, and they handle their orbs in this way. And so if you want to look up how they do that and try that on this, you can do that. It's just an alternative way, but this is the way in the step out the way I'm doing it. And like I say, shading is again a big part of this tangle. It will look very cool once shaded. I have a lovely new 01 in my hand. It's so nice and juicy. Lots of ink. Barely touching down. Just letting it do its thing. How fun. Now try to put your dots in the same place. And of course, if you're using a jelly roll at the end, that's going to be really simple to do. Okay. The more narrow you make these middle parts, the smaller the orb you can use will be. I'm sort of excited about shading this. Easy there, big guy. Okay. Now, and unlike me, ideally, you want these orbs to be about the same size. But again, this is hand drawn, and sometimes stuff gets out of control. What can I say? Yeah, that one definitely got out of control. All right, I think that's all I'm going to be able to see here. So now let's look at back. Oops, I've completely forgot a square, didn't I? Shame on me. Like that. And happiness is a new 01. Sometimes you take what you can get. Well, my orbs are all over the place, but that's okay. It's still going to be cool when we get it shaded. All right, back over here. I think I do want to add maybe just a couple of more sprigs. That's what I'm going to call them, sprigs. And so I think I want to put one right here and do my spiral opposite. And then, let's see. Press down and lift, press down and lift. Don't get in a hurry for this. I love Ria's patterns. They always have such an elegance to them. And I frequently fall short, though I always feel with my attempts at drawing them, because she is just such an exquisite artist. And trying to get results that are even in the same ballpark with her is very difficult, at least for me. Some of you do not have this issue. Some of you are pretty amazing all in your own right. In fact, all of you are. I want to applaud my seniors today, although I hate that word. My over 65 crowd, I want to applaud you today for doing these things. Now, if your shaking is bothering you, as far as making the dots, take a deep breath, relax those shoulders down, take in a breath, hold it, dot, let it out, okay? My little sprigs here are a little awkward, but I think I'm going to put another one right here. And we've done some overlapping, and that's going to make things interesting. And so I think the last thing I want to do over here to sort of change things up or add something would be, I'm thinking, I think what I want to do is try something like this. And just add a few of those in. Just something small and lightweight. Just to sort of fill in. I'm not sure I want very many more. And this is why I didn't want to put this aura all the way around. All right. I think one more here and then I'll be done. Here. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. Now, as far as my aura line goes, I am okay with ending that there purposefully. And I think what I'm going to do here is just close it off right there and let the rest of this be free. Be free. Okay, so let's do some shading and see where we will end up. I have my handy F pencil today. Yay. Okay, let's start the shading over here with our grid pattern. Okay, this is going to be that typical choose a side and shade on that kind of thing. So in your squares, and again, I choose to shade on one side all the time, so I'm not confused. You guys do what you want, but you want to just put a little bit on one side at the edge, okay? And that side is going to continue, right? So we've got this, okay? River. So now let's keep going and do that much in each one, okay? Same side, same side. Tell the folks to go away, River. We are trying to video today. You are not helping me, young lady. River. Thank you, baby. Now, you will notice that I'm not taking this down on this side because that would be the wrong side. That's as far as I'm going to go. So right along one side, all the way up, all the way down. Okay. Always that same side. Okay, so I've got it over here. Yeah, Simba, is that right? You can tell this angle is off. But hopefully nobody's going to notice. sort of making a mess over here, aren't I? Same side. Oops, I forgot some ink here. Okay. Okay, let's make sure I've got everything. Undoubtedly, I've forgotten something, but hopefully we've got the majority. All right, and now over here, actually, let me blend this first before we move on. All right, so let's blend this just a little bit. We want to have a very soft blend. We don't want to cover everything. We just want it to that one side. That's going to sort of lift things up. Oops. No, Cindy. Bad girl. Okay. And you may have to lift out some extra graphite here and there. Yeah, so I'm making a pretty big mess here. I'm just going to go ahead and blend, and then I'll come back in with my eraser and clean that up. Oh, for a kneaded eraser right now. For those that don't know, kneaded erasers are sort of like erasers that are squeezable, and you squeeze and pull them. That's how you clean them. And I loved using them. I have several. But my hands just got to the point where I couldn't knead them anymore. That's with knead with a K, as in baking. Okay. And I'm just getting the spots where the graphite got on the wrong side of the line. Don't get started, buddy. Let's everybody go take our naps so Mom can get done and not be editing till 4 a.m. like I was last night. I wanted to cry around 9:30 when I had just started my second go through. I wanted to cry. All right, where's my paintbrush? Much better way of removing that stuff. So, okay, now maybe you can see why the shading is so important for this, right? It went from okay to wow. That is cool looking, right? Okay, so now for shading on the JAVIK, everywhere they overlap, right? Just like we've been doing. So between the petals on one side, it's on the side with, it's always on the side. No, that's just going to confuse people. Never mind. Just, you know, on the side that is being overlapped, that looks like it's beneath, that's where we want our graphite. Anytime the little petals overlap each other, if you have overlapping in yours, we want to put a little color there. And yes, you could use a colored pencil to do the shading on this, absolutely. I am not touching a colored pencil right now. It scares me. It scares me. But like we are learning, the smallest touches make a big difference here. This reminds me of spring. I love these little sprigs of JAVIK. I had thought about doing this, but it just needed more. And so I didn't want to do the same organic patterns we've been doing over and over, even though there's a reason we repeat things like that. It's because they are such great parts of finishing a tile up, like when I use flux and poke root and poke leaf and things like that. Those are really dynamic tangles and really do a great job pulling a tile together or juicing it up or something like that. So, but I did want to offer some new possibilities for that today. And this is just the perfect little thing. I forget botanical tangles almost immediately because so many of them are so similar. But I love this. I love this. I normally like my botanical things to be pretty densely packed, but that's a personal preference. And one, of course, you do not have to share. All right, Simba, are you on? Sweet. Let it go, bud. If Simba's gonna let it go, you let it go too. Ria has another pattern that I have thought about doing. My hesitation with that is not because of the pattern, it's because of my ability to execute it is somewhat limited. It's called Deku, and it's very lovely. She just, I don't know, she has the ability to really, and her art is just so beautiful and fine and precise. And it's so opposite of everything that I do. You know, I am flamboyant and she is elegant, and you know, and those two things aren't necessarily bad. I mean, neither one of those is. I mean, they're both good, but it makes our styles vastly different. So check out Ria's art on Tangle Patterns. Right. Oh my goodness. What a pretty, relaxing tile, right? Not too much effort. Shading made a big difference. Just wonderful. I really enjoyed this. And XO was fun. And it has a great outcome with very little work. And JAVIK is pretty. So we got everything. We got both grid and organic. We should be happy. We should all be happy today. Oh, I forgot my chop. Let me put my chop in real quick before we're done. I think I'm going to sneak it in right here. Okay, not now, Simba. Not yet. I'm almost done. Something is going on. I'm going to put in my little orbs today. See? You don't even notice that hole anymore, do you? All right, guys. Thank you so much for being with me today. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. We are 1/5 of the way through, so let's see what happens.